Okay, so the first thing that I need to do here is I need to find M and B. So on your paper, when you're doing a problem like this, you should have M equals and you should have B equals. Let's not forget the formula for finding the slope-intercept form of a line. Y equals mx plus b. Okay, so finding b, that's the first thing that I always do. And right here, it's being added on the end. Right here, it's technically not added, it's being subtracted there. What does that mean? What's my b value here? It's not 2, but that's very close. It's like the evil step twin of 2. -2. It's -2 because you have to include that negative as part of the number. So my m value is going to be directly in front of x. What's my m value here? Thank you. Kimberly. My m value here is directly in front of x is -3/2. Okay, so I need to find a graph that starts at -2 and that's going to go down 3 to the right 2 every time. So let's look at these options and see which one works. This one starts at -2, so far so good. And if I look at it, it goes down, it's hard to see, so I'm gonna go up to this dot. It goes down 3 to the right 2. That one does work. Let's check the other ones to make sure they don't work. This one passes at like +1 or something. That's not going to be our answer. This one passes at +2, so that's also going to be wrong. This one passes at -2, so that's good, but then it goes up 3 to the right 2. It doesn't follow our slope of -3/2. So that one does not work. So on this practice test, our only one that worked was A. All right, let's look at question number 2. On question 2, it says choose the correct graph for the following line. Again, we're using this formula, y equals mx plus b, and on every problem of your test, I expect to see m equals and b equals. All right here, my b value is on the end there. It's not 4, it's going to be -4. And the slope is the number in front of x, and that is going to be 1/2. All right, so let's see which graph crosses the y-axis at -4 and it goes up 1 to the right 2. So if I look at this first one, this one's crossing at -4, but it doesn't go up 1 to the right 2, up 1 to the right 2. So this graph doesn't have the correct slope. It's not our answer. The second graph does not cross the y-axis at -4, so I'm not even going to consider it. The third graph does not cross the y-axis at -4. It actually crosses at +2. I'm not even going to consider it. The last one, hopefully this works, -4, and the slope is telling it to go up 1 space to the right 2. So this one does fit all of our qualifications. Okay, let's look at the next one. The next one's a little bit backwards. You are given the graph and your job is to write the equation. So my job here, I need to find what m is and what b is in the equation or in the graph that I'm given. Now remember, b is always your y-intercept. So here's my y-axis, and this one's crossing right here at -4. M is going to be whatever your slope is. So my slope is telling me from here to go up 1 space to the right. Oh boy, that's a lot of spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I went up 1 space to the right 5. With those 2 pieces of information, I can write my equation. I've got to have y equals. My slope was 1/5. And then remember, after your slope is the letter x. Then where it says plus b, I could write plus -4, but it seems really weird to write plus minus. I'm going to write plus -4. When you type this in, remember you've got to do parentheses. So on this, you're going to have parentheses around the 1/5. Don't put the x inside the parentheses. Also, I've seen a lot of people forgetting the x. That will mark it wrong as well. So on this one, y equals parentheses 1/5 parentheses x minus 4. All right, let's look at the last one. On the last problem, I don't even know if anybody's still listening, but if you are, great. On the last problem, I need to find the m value and the b value. So my b value is wherever it crosses the y-axis right here. That's at +1. My m value is the slope, and that's telling me how far up and to the right. Well, this one's not going up to the right. It's actually going down to the right. So I'm going to try to get to this dot because this is another good corner. It's going down 1, 2, 3 spaces to the right 2. So my slope is down 3 to the right 2. That would be -3 and a +2. When I go to write that equation, it will look like this. Y equals -3 over 2. And don't forget, after your m, you always have an x. And then the b value, you're adding 1. And when you type that in, don't forget that that -3/2 needs to be in parentheses. So you'd have y equals parenthesis -3 over 2 parenthesis. Then you put your x. The x does not go inside the parentheses. And +1 would go on the end. And I believe that that is all for these 4 problems. Hopefully when I submit this, it doesn't tell us that we did it all wrong. Looks like 4 out of 4. Perfect. All right, so if you are ready to take the test now, go ahead and start working on that.